Well, hey there, it's Elka.
And Jen, and in this episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast, we are talking about the freedoms that having a Zazzle online business gives you.
And those freedoms, especially in this day and time, are going to be so important to you because they're the freedoms of being creative, which is something near and dear to my heart, that I can make money being creative, and also that this is a great business. It's like business in a box because Zazzle affords us so many things that we as creatives maybe not even that good at in terms of business management and creating a business. And so we're going to go over some of the things that make it so much of a yes as to why Zazzle is important as a way to, as a choice to make money online being creative, and how it all just works together so nicely. And even though you have to do some work, it's going to be less work than if you had to create this all on your own. And so this creative aspect and the business aspects that Zazzle affords us as creatives so that we can just get on with being creative and shine and make money is the reason that we're going to be working on the Zazzle platform rather than any other platform. And that's why we suggest that. And that's where we ended up as Zazzle entrepreneurs. We've made over $1.5 million take home combined on the platform on Zazzle. And this is why we love it so much.
Yeah, well, because we've also tried so many other platforms and we realized that although there are many benefits of other print-on-demand platforms or even e-commerce businesses, Zazzle for us is the best, and it gives us so many opportunities, especially within the business and the creative side. And we're going to be talking about those today in this podcast episode.
Yeah. So how about I start with the creative?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so first of all, just having a business where you can be creative, like Jen and I, and where you can be creative, doing what you love. Oh my gosh, isn't that just heaven? Like, it's a dream to be able to make money being creative. And it's something that everyone who is a creative has been indoctrinated with, that you can't make money being creative, go get a real job. And it even hurts to say it because it's just so raw. When people tell me that, it's frustrating because most of my life that's what happened, and I did all kinds of things to do what other people said would make me money, and I wasn't happy. So finally, once I was able to do what I love and make money on it, it was like validation, it was a sense of relief, it was so many things. And Zazzle has been that opportunity for me to actually make it happen for me. And so it can hopefully happen for you too.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Same for you as well, right?
We've had many experiences where people have told us you can't make money being creative. You're, as an artist, you're a starving artist. You can't you can't go forward. You have to get a real job. You have to go to university. All of these things that are telling you that you're not able to make money being creative, and that you'll never succeed or be successful in life if you are an artist or if you're creative and you follow your creative passion.
Yeah, so Zazzle allows you to do that because literally that's what the e-commerce platform is. It's not it's not something where it's a different business model. It's actually based on the fact that designers like us, and it's free to join, by the way, can put up creative things, whether that be photography, artwork, graphic design, surface patterns, text-based design, typography, all kinds of hand-lettered, and you name it, in terms of a digital form of the image that you are creating, whether, I'm repeating myself here, but anything where you can digitally upload an image that you can print on something, like a mug or a t-shirt, or even invitations, or anything that Zazzle has as a blank that you can add products, your design to a product, then you can sell that and make money with a royalty. And so, oh my gosh, that just opened up the doors for everything. It meant things like, we're going to get into the business side of things, but all the things that normally you would have to do physically, now you could just do online, and Zazzle did it all for you. And we'll get into the business aspects later. But that in itself, just that allowing us to shine with our creativity, and people will actually value it and pay for it, other than being like in a gallery or trying to sell your own artwork online, all of a sudden is just so relieving and freeing, and that there's no ceiling to that income that you can earn is also really, really freeing, right?
Yeah.
It
Definitely.
just opens up the possibility that you can literally make a living doing this.
And going back to the possibilities in terms of your creativity, as Elka was mentioning, you can be a graphic designer, a photographer, an artist. You can be even just someone who's creative in your own way and explore things on Zazzle to create something with your creativity or your passion. Because Zazzle literally is an opportunity for you to be outside of the box on anything. There's no set structure on how you have to be creative to make a certain amount of money or what you have to post for sale. You have creative freedom basically, and you can do whatever you want. And you can live your passion or make money with your passions and not have anybody tell you a specific quota or something that you have to produce. You can actually just do what you love and make money doing it.
Yeah. Being creative, making money, and also having the creative freedom to do it in your way, which is fabulous, right?
Yeah.
So the other thing that is really nice is that Zazzle offers a whole thousands of products that you can design on. So the only thing is if like you're making physical things like wood carvings or whatnot, obviously that's not going to really translate into this. But they even have programs on Zazzle where you can become a maker and you can make a partnership with them. And that's actually something we haven't explored yet because we want to move into a perceivable, passive, profitable business where there's less product, less inventory, less expense to get started. And we love the business model that Zazzle offers where you're adding a digital image of your creativity and adding it to different products online and then sell, and then Zazzle sells it all. And you as a designer get a royalty. And that's so passive, it's not funny, it's awesome. So that's what's really important for us because that way we can continue to be creative and we don't have to work any of the other aspects of the business into it, like product fulfillment and customer service and all of those things.
And also, talking about creative freedom, you're able to create products within any type of niche that you want. You're allowed to be in any space that you want in. And we do a lot of training in terms of figuring out your niche and figuring out your passion and your why in some of our free training and also our paid courses. But basically, we tell you that you can make money doing anything with your passion and what you're super passionate about. And whether you're interested in martial arts or, animal photography, or knitting or weddings or celebrations or even, let's say, sports, politics, you can make money in all of those different areas and there's no criticism or any rules or regulations, that you have to have set out by a boss, for example. So you can literally have creative freedom in terms of your design, like literally your medium, so photography, artwork, watercolor, etc., or also your niches and where you want to explore and where you want to keep on, selling products in.
Yeah, exactly. The sky is the limit, as they say, which is nice. So does that cover all the things about creativity? I think so.
I think there's probably a lot more, but for this episode of this podcast, we're going to be talking about those ones. Basically, you have creative freedom, and you're allowed to
make money with your creativity.
Yeah, and you make money with your creativity.
And we're just gushing, even 13 years after starting, we're just still so thrilled with the whole idea and platform because there was nothing like this before Zazzle came about. Because there are other print-on-demand companies that came out around the same time as Zazzle did, but they are never as available in terms of building out and being creative right on the platform even, right? Most of the other platforms you have to be creative in Photoshop or a graphics design program before you upload your final product or design, and then you just slap it on products. Whereas in the Zazzle marketplace, the way they have the design tool set up, it's a very unique and fluid thing. It's almost like having Photoshop right in the platform, and it allows you to be creative just by being very product specific and allowing you to design based on what it is that you're using in the niche, or like let's say you're making cards for a wedding or you're making a t-shirt. Those are going to be different design processes and allows you on the Zazzle platform to keep seeing what the picture looks like in terms of the actual design on the invitation or the t-shirt example, and it allows you to be more like involved in the process. It's not just a design that's going to go on thousands of products. And so this allows you to be more specific and targeted, and you get to have that actually affords you more profitability because you're very targeted. You're not just hoping for the best with one design slapped on everything.
And I also think we have we resonate a lot with the Zazzle platform because previous to working on Zazzle, we were trying to sell our artwork in galleries or in physical stores or even online, but the online platforms weren't as advanced as Zazzle, and we were always doing work for people where they would say, oh, well, I like this, but I would actually rather have it in blue, or does it really cost that much? This is a piece of artwork, so I'd bargain for it or something. We were always trying to please other people, even though we were trying to live out our life doing a creative thing that we loved doing. And in the end, we actually didn't like our creative process as much as we wanted to, because we were always sort of in a negative space with it, where people didn't want to pay enough money, like they didn't actually want to pay what it was worth, or they wanted something completely different. And we were never able to explore the possibilities of what we actually truly wanted to do as creatives. And Zazzle opened up a whole world of opportunities for us where we were allowed to create products and nobody was giving us any rules or any color combinations or choices that we had to do. And in terms of the price point, nobody was going to bargain with the amount of money that we asked for it, because you posted the product for sale and Zazzle as the company determined the price. And so if a customer came to Zazzle and wanted your artwork, they would have to pay that amount of money. And so it gave us the opportunity to, just do what we wanted and not have to worry about the end customer saying anything about it. And plus Zazzle had the international space where a customer would come from wherever, not just in your hometown where you needed to sell to your local shop, right? You were able to now reach a whole bunch of new customers all around the world, no matter where you were physically at that point in time.
The customer base changed everything because yes, maybe initially when people around here, you realized that was a limited amount of people that you could sell to, and so therefore you had to target those wishes, whereas now there are people out there that are going to buy on your terms. And that's kind of where that big difference came in, right?
That's what I initially fell in love with Zazzle about that. But then there's so many amazing other things too, which we're going to talk about now on the business side.
Let's switch to business.
Because yes, there are so many other print-on-demand platforms. There's a lot of other e-commerce businesses that you could get into, but Zazzle is very, very special and unique because of the way that they work, because of the way they've structured their business, and also the way that they deal with the designers and also the customers. And as a designer, you don't actually need to do too much work besides creating products and doing your titles and tags and obviously creating a really great store online. But Zazzle takes care of a lot of other things that some other platforms don't, or they're different. And Zazzle is just an amazing combination of all these things that harmonizes the designing process and also the customer buying process. And that's why we love that platform, or this platform, so much.
Yeah. So let's say you're not aware of any of the other print-on-demand companies, and you're just going to look to see what kind of an e-commerce business you'd like to do. And so you're going to end up comparing things like Amazon. Like you can either do KDP or the publishing aspect, or you can sell products on Amazon, which are limited to like T-shirts and pop sockets, and I think now cell phone cases. But you have to be like a major seller in order to move into some of these areas on Amazon. And so then the other thing would be Etsy, where you can either sell digital products or physical products, most likely physical. And then there's Shopify, where you're sourcing products from somewhere, whether, some sort of source. You have to literally find the products, and then you're basically sending those off to the customer once they buy. So it's kind of like a print on demand, but it's not really. It just means that you're sourcing the products. But Zazzle and any other print on demand company is there for you to upload your image, and then when the customer buys it, that's when it gets printed. That's why it's called print on demand. But in terms of the print on demand companies, there are let's say Redbubble, Society6, Teespring, a couple other t-shirt sites, and there's also Spoonflower for surface patterns. But the fact that Zazzle has the ability to have the customer customize things on the Zazzle platform and actually see how it looks as soon as they make the changes, that moves Zazzle into its own league. There is no one else. Cafe Press is starting to do that a little bit, but they're nowhere close to what Zazzle offers and has been offering since they started.
Yeah.
And so they have the reputation for that. And because of the customization, it changes everything. The products are now more fluid and more there's more opportunity for you to even start with the base design, and then the customer moves it into a whole other thing that they want based on something that you had there to start with. And this makes a huge difference, because it's not just a yes or no. It's an actual, I like this, but I want to change it to this, or I like this, but I want my name on it, or I like this, but I want to change it to having a different photo on it. And so that just the opportunities there are endless, and we love that about Zazzle, and it's created a huge amount of wealth for us.
For, as an example, for people who maybe don't know too much what Zazzle offers, they have templates, so you can create a product. Let's say we create a mug that has a picture of your dog on it, or a dog, and it says best dog mom ever, and it says love the dog's name. Me as a designer, I create that mug and I put up a template photo. I use stock photography and I write my own saying, but I make everything customizable and easily changeable to the customer, so they can upload their own photo of their own dog, and then they can create a mug that says their own name and their own dog's name. That's a simple example, but there are so many opportunities for you to create these products, and instantaneously that one customer can make that mug completely 100% unique and theirs, because they're adding their own photo and adding their own names to it. And any other platform and print-on-demand company doesn't offer that extent of customization to the customer. And me as the designer, I can just easily create the templates on my design, and that means that literally anyone in the entire world could buy my mug and make it 100% uniquely theirs.
Yes. And because of that, you're not restricted, and therefore you get more sales, because everyone can make it their own, as you said. And you get the royalty. Even though you didn't have to do the work, they actually created the mug based on your template.
Yeah, so I think it's really sweet. That's awesome. But in terms of other things that Zazzle offers, a lot of these print-on-demand or even e-commerce websites like Shopify or Etsy, the stuff that we talked about before, Amazon, either you have to have a certain amount of quota, like you have to sell a certain amount in order to get paid out, or to actually keep your position in that platform. And also they don't have any membership fees. Like Etsy, for example, every time you post a product for sale, you have to pay to have that product on their website, and it's sort of like a subscription fee. And Zazzle does not have anything like that. Zazzle is completely free. You can open up an account and a store today, and there are no fees that are associated with opening your store or even the amount of products that you have. So you can post literally thousands of products for sale and not pay any type of membership or quota fees.
Exactly. Yes. And what else?
Let's see, I'm looking at my notes here. So, subscription, you can design whatever you want. Zazzle actually also offers thousands of different types of products and versions of different styles of products for you to create and customize. And no matter what type of product you create, as I said, it's completely free. And they have partnered with so many different production houses and production companies, brand names, etc., for you to literally take a blank product, so let's say a mug or a pillow or a t-shirt, or even duvet covers and shoes. There's so many options for you, thousands of products. You take a blank product and you create whatever you want on it, design it, and then you post it for sale. And as soon as you post it for sale, that's all you have to do. You don't have to deal with production of the product. You don't have to deal with customer service. You don't have to deal with shipping and handling. You don't have to deal with cancellations or returns. You literally just post the product for sale, and Zazzle does everything else.
Yeah, and what I like is that I didn't have to source all those products and make deals with all those people that are creating the products, like that, even the blanks, right? Yeah, and talking about that, sourcing the products, you don't have any physical inventory. So if you are more
If you're in more of the understanding of having like an actual physical store, like maybe you are a store owner or you've sold to stores, where stores won't either accept your physical products until the next seasons come out, or they're buying or sourcing based on the time of year. For you as a Zazzle designer, you can design whenever and whatever you want, and you don't have to worry about having space for physical inventory, or actually even selling your previous inventory before you invest in new inventory. It's a whole completely different way of thinking, because you're able to literally have whatever you want in your store, and as soon as someone comes to your store and buys it, that's when it's physically made. And so it literally has like zero waste, zero inventory storage, and there's no like repercussions from having more inventory than you're actually selling, for example.
Exactly. And also the idea is that you, like, if you were like licensing your designs to a physical store like Pottery Barn or, you know, Home Sense or whatnot, then again, that's the person that you're, or company that you're licensing your designs to, not unlike Zazzle, they would want a certain quota sold before they make a new contract with you. Whereas on Zazzle, you can literally sell nothing for several years, and then once the design does sell, maybe 3 years later, just as an example, then there is no issue. There's not, oh, sorry, we can't have your design still on Zazzle because it hasn't sold. It's very much that you make the design once, post it up, and then it has years that it can sell, which there's no restriction. And I love that, because you work once, and then you can have the opportunity to sell as many times as possible. Now, obviously, there's a couple of details that I've skipped over here, because Zazzle does want to have a nice, fresh marketplace with designs that are new. So every so often, you'll have to go in and refresh your design and maybe change the titles and tags or whatever. But we have designs that we made in 2008 and 2009 that are still selling, and this is 2020. And so imagine that. And there is no quota as to how much has to sell in order for it to sell again. And that means there's unlimited opportunity for you, as long as you have your designs up and there's something that people want to buy.
So I think we covered pretty much all of the creative and business. So we're just doing a little recap here. So for the reasons why we chose Zazzle over other print-on-demand companies or other e-commerce online platforms is just because it allows you so many creative and business freedoms that others don't. And it's just such a unique online platform that gives you the perfect opportunity to create a perceivable, passive, and profitable business. And that's why we chose it. So in terms of creativity, you are able to have complete creative freedom. You're able to make money, first of all, with your creativity, and tell everybody who told you that you aren't able to make money with your creativity that there is actually a way. Everyone who's on Zazzle is making money with their creativity. It is completely 100% possible, and it is possible for you to do the same.
But I have to interject here for a minute, because that's why we do courses.
Yes.
Because not everyone is as successful at making money.
Yes.
And so there is one aspect to it. You have to still provide designs that customers want to buy. And so there's some marketing and some research and some strategy in the business management side of things that you definitely need. But that's part of running a business, especially when you want to get to 5 and 6 figures, which some of our students have actually reached already, which they weren't getting before on their own.
Yeah.
But it's possible, and that's what Jen means by that.
Yes.
Because we don't want to make any income claim statements.
No.
But yes, it's so lucrative if you know what you're doing.
Yes. Okay, and then in terms of being able to make money in any type of niche, you're able to explore different possibilities, and you are able to design on over all of the thousands of products that Zazzle offers to you. And yeah, basically you're allowed to have your creative freedom as an artist. Or even if you're not artistic, you're still able to create products. And as Elka mentioned it previously in this podcast, is that Zazzle has a design tool that is basically like using a Photoshop program. It's extremely user-friendly and very easy to use. Obviously, we have taught talked about our courses in terms of how you have to create good products and have good business management to be successful on Zazzle, because it's not super easy. There is work that goes into creating an online business on Zazzle. However, Zazzle's platform is extremely easy to use and gives you a lot of amazing opportunities for you to take advantage of in terms of having, that many products available for you to design on, complete creative freedom, the easy design tool for you to create thousands of different products or create on those thousands of different products, and also just the whole business setup where they give you, they do all of the customer service for you, they do the production and the shipping of the products, and they don't actually print or create the product until it's purchased by the customer, which gives you the amount of, online retail space, so to speak, where you don't physically have to have inventory in your store or in your house waiting to be shipped out as if like you were an Etsy seller, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think that's the main reason that we loved Zazzle, is because it just took away a lot of the cost and also allowed us to expand our ability to, there is no income ceiling on the Zazzle marketplace. As long as you do the work and you provide the service, i.e. the customers want the product with the designs on them, then they'll buy them, right? And so that's really the key. And the fact that it just allowed us to become international. I used to love, and I still do, checking where people bought from. And I think I've sold something in every single country in the world, pretty much.
Yeah. No, Zazzle is an internationally known company, and they do ship worldwide. And it's very interesting to see where your customers are. And if we hey, I sold to someone in Australia, or I sold to someone in Hong Kong, or I sold to somebody in,
Iceland.
and or Venezuela, or everywhere. So, yeah.
So thank you so much for listening and watching, and because I know we're doing this recording for YouTube as well. But we are so thrilled with Zazzle. 1.5 million and counting is our earned income, and we love that we have been able to influence so many other Zazzle designers who were initially caught up in the idea that, wow, Zazzle is an amazing platform, and then got a little bit disappointed because they weren't making the money that they thought they would be making. And so we've been so fortunate that we've been able to teach people how to do this, and now they're much more happier with the ability that they now have, because they're empowered, they know what to do, and they can realize their dream of making money being creative using the Zazzle platform.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching and listening, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.